Well, Alex, I want to give you another one here that some people are going to disagree with. You can flame me in the comments if you want, but it's the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers to me is a fantasy trap. He is a fantasy trap. Do not draft him. Do not trade for him. Don't even go off that name value. Yes, it's Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he can have those crazy weeks, but last year he had 10 weeks with less than 15 fantasy points. You don't want that from your quarterback position, especially not where you're taking him. So he's too inconsistent to me to be, somebody I take. He finishes the quarterback 9 last year, and that's with a 43-point game that was in there at one point. So I don't know. I don't like Aaron Rodgers that much, especially when now Matt LaFleur's in here. They're running the ball a little bit more. I would rather wait and grab a name like Matt Stafford or your boy Danny Dimes or even Big Ben if I'm looking at quarterbacks in redraft. Let's talk about the backfield a little bit. I love Aaron Jones. And we've been trying to keep this free Aaron Jones movement going because we all think he'll be a beast, but it looks like he's not going to see that. And I think he will regress in the touchdown department. After tying for the most touchdowns last year with Derrick Henry, I think there will be some regression, even though I do believe in Jones, especially as a scorer. But then we had Jamal Williams also in the backfield. He was a decent streamer last year. I don't think Green Bay totally gets rid of him in the passing game. And then with A.J. Dillon being brought in the second round of the draft, I think that takes some carries away. Now, I'm not going to hail Dillon as, taking 33% of the offensive carries, but I do think he'll take away some, especially in goal line, short yardage type of situations. Dillon's a big body guy. Think like the bus type of physicality, physique from
big
him.
Bruiser.
So, yeah, an absolute bruiser that they brought in there. So, look, you got all these things that are kind of holding Aaron Jones back. We'll see if maybe the pendulum swings too far the other way and then Jones becomes a value, because I do think he will be solid. But still, he's down on my board, especially compared to last year. And then we have in the receiving game, Davante Adams. He's probably their one bright spot. I love Adams in 2020. I'll talk about him for a second. He had 10.5 targets a game, 7 receptions, 83 yards, and 17.7 fantasy points. That was on pace for the wide receiver 2 last year, so he'll be a beast. I have no worries about him. And then at wide receiver 2, that's where the names kind of get gross again. So we have Geronimo Allison last year. Marquez Valdez-Scantling was a name that people had on the radar last year. Those guys all ended at wide receiver 80, wide receiver 60. Then Alan Lazard too. So just don't waste a draft pick on any of these names. It's going to be a wide receiver carousel this year. Don't look at Devin Funchess as some crazy streamer that you think you found value in, because Matt LaFleur is going to put his run-first scheme, and he showed you that with his running back selection in the draft. Every staff that LaFleur has been a part of, their offenses have been in the top 9 in rushing attempts. Last year, we laughed at how the Packers were the worst 13-3 team of all time. And looking back on it, I think I'm actually starting to agree with that statement. We'll see if they can do it again. But I'm really down on the Packers offense in 2020 from a fantasy perspective.
Steph, I want to hit you with some Packers offense rapid-fire questions. First one, Lazard or Devin Funchess this year? Who has more points?
Oh, man. I'll take my boy Lazard.
The Lazard King. So that's one that doesn't matter. But some of these might. So let's hop into this. Do we see Jordan Love play in 2020? No. Do we see Jordan Love start a game in 2020?
Start a game? No. No chance.
More fantasy points in the backfield. Jamal Williams or A.J. Dillon? Half PPR.
Oh, that's so tough. Just for the passing work, I'm going to say Williams. But it's close.
Outside of Michael Thomas, are there any other receivers you're taking ahead of Davante Adams in 2020?
The only one that I would look at would be Julio Jones. Maybe if you're super high in him, you look at like a Chris Godwin, a DeAndre Hopkins, a Tyreek Hill. But honestly, Adams is probably going to end up on my board as a wide receiver too going into drafts.
Does Aaron Rodgers finish as a top 12 quarterback this season?
I think he'll finish right at 12, 13 range. I'll go the other way. I'll say no.
Hey, and then last one, Aaron Jones. I'm going to name off a couple of guys here. Aaron Jones or Nick Chubb?
Nick Chubb. Far and away Nick Chubb.
Aaron Jones or Joe Mixon?
I'll go Joe Mixon.
Aaron Jones or Josh Jacobs?
Josh Jacobs. I love Jacobs this year.
Dang, Aaron Jones or Kenyon Drake?
Dude, give me Kenyon Drake. I don't know where Jones is going to be. I'm probably sounding like I'm totally bashing the guy, but to me, I'm taking all of those names.
I mean, these are all pretty good names. These are all pretty good names. We'll go a little deeper here. Aaron Jones or Mark Ingram?
Give me Aaron Jones.
There we go. Finally found that cutoff point. We went pretty deep there, Steph. But yeah, that's good perspective. I mean, based on all those answers, like outside of Davante Adams, not a whole lot here. And I'm with you. I think this Packers offense is overhyped. I mean, this Aaron Rodgers hype has been going for years, since the Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb days. And like, it's just not quite there anymore. They do have Adams, who's an elite talent. We saw what they did this offseason, though. Instead of drafting Rodgers any kind of weapons, they went out and drafted A, his replacement, and then B, in the second round, they draft a running back when they already have two really serviceable running backs. So for me, like, this Packers team is a mystery. I don't know what their offseason was all about. Maybe 5 years from now, Jordan Love is going to be a Pro Bowler, and it's all going to make sense. But I'm with you, Steph. I think this Packers offense will be good. They will have good games in 2020. We're not saying they're not going to be startable at any point, but we're saying they are going to be overhyped, and I could not agree with you more.